Okay guys, this is Rab from ISC. Just doing a quick overlay of the new Broadsword Destroyer Mark III fitting that I have. I've got some Revelation cruisers for decoys. We'll go into it. So I attacked a level 35 base of this attack. The fleet's level 45. And we'll see how I did. So just a quick explanation of what's going on at the start of a battle, right? So you get these, your decoys, okay? So you want to group them together and push them out ahead. I like to run them about a couple 100 meters in front of my destroyers, and then you'll bring the destroyers close together. You'll make a nice little tight knit little box, line out of them, and you'll see my decoys are moving forward. So once your box is ready to move, you go ahead and start pushing forward. Once I get in here, I kind of come forward. I'm destroying a few of the little modules. I really don't care about that. The reason that I spawned on that side of the map was because this is where the fleet bay is. Now the fleet bay has become a dangerous asset for base defenders and the worst nightmare essentially for sniping fleets. So typically whatever side the fleet bay is on, you want to attack from that side so that you can get to it and wipe it out as quickly as possible. Which is what I do here. So what you want to do is you want to bring your fleet forward, and literally I just clicked them and then I attacked the fleet bay, and I brought my revelations forward with those. I realized that I'm getting hit right here, so I kind of strafe side to side to try to dodge, and then the fighter bombers come out to hit me. Now I was hoping that he was going to be using interceptors, but he's not. I have deflector 5 by 2s fit to my revelations, so they have like 10,000 shield damage, or shield hit points, so I can still defend against quite a bit of damage, and they still put out just a little bit of DPS. But you see here I'm hitting the fleet bay pretty hard with my broadsword Mark IIIs. Now all these guys have siege 1 and 2 fitted to them, so they do about 70 DPS, and then I just start hitting the headquarters right here, and I try to stay out of range. Once this guy gets wiped out, this Gauss turret, well, he kind of gets out of range of the Gauss turret, and I realize that, so I bring him in to try to attack it. But this Gauss turret kind of tears me apart, so that was one thing that I could have done differently. Regardless, I still wipe out the headquarters in the end, so I'm not too worried about it. Just barely though, just barely. So I'm down to 1 broadsword, and I start strafing, and I'm like, oh no, I'm dead. But then, luckily, I would have had this last guy right here come in to hit the base for the final attack. So it would have been wiped out regardless that I brought the rev in or not. But it was a good thing I did that just in case. You always want to try to get that base. If that's all you got left, just suicide right into it. All in all, it wasn't a horrible hit. You'll see I wiped out the collateral damage from the headquarters. What's going to be the biggest kicker there. So I like to go straight for the fleet bay and the headquarters, and typically by the time that's wiped out, you have 2 stars and your fleet's pretty much done. Now here's the fleet itself. You see I've only got 7 hours and 4 minutes of repair time. It's not bad for the amount of DPS that I do have on it, which is quite substantial. The Revelation cruisers all have Aurora 1s for weapons just to give them a little DPS, and then I've got Strafe 3 and Deflector 5s, and then Trit 5x4 on there. So that's universal throughout both of them. And the broadswords, all of them are same fit. I've got Strafe 4, Siege 2, Siege 1, Phase 3, and Trit 3. Really, once these start taking damage, they get wiped out. So as I upgrade Phase, I'm going to downgrade Trit. Because I want that phase damage. You can see how most of the things that they'd attack, it was just hitting the shield and taking the shield down with the armor. So I want a little bit more, but some of the modifiers that you have on the broadsword Mark IIIs are worth it. And this fit actually brings them to 2,034 tons of mass, and they have 2,035 tons of mass. So it brings it right to the edge. But yeah, that's my sniping fleet, and that's how I use it. Hopefully some of you guys will start upgrading to this in the future. If you're younger players, if you're older players, maybe you'll get a few of these fleets just for trolling the lower level players. It's short rep time, it's only 7 hours, so it's not bad for a sniper fleet.